And we are back. Buenos dias, mis amores. We are here and we're ready for a dynamic conversation and a show for you. Of course, we had a great conversation with Dr. Bongelo talking about meal plan, obesity, and diabetes. And that is the physical part of taking care of yourself. We're going to talk now about the mental part. As many of you may know, October 10th is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. It's a time that we take consciousness into how do we take care of our mental psyche? How do we deal with stress and manage and cope with our everyday lives? Because mental health is more than just bipolar or being depressed or so forth. It's about really just thinking about every single day how you deal with situations. Myself is the Unicef youth advocate. And so I did a campaign that was called We Survive. And we have some dynamic young people that are going to be our youth advocates today. We did videos that we're going to show their story on what it is they do to help cope with the stresses of life, especially during the pandemic. So we have our first panelists. We have Nicanor, Requena. We have Madeline, Leonardo. We have Arthur, Usher. And of course, we have Kristen, Nicholson. And so we have these dynamic young people. Good morning, everyone. How you're feeling?
Good morning.
Morning.
You're muted, Arthur.
You're muted, Arthur. We didn't hear you, Manny.
Oh, good morning.
As
Hey,
a older
Madeline,
cousin,
you
I have to
good?
correct you.
Okay.
We're doing good.
Okay, guys. So what we're going to do for this segment, everyone, we're going to have them have their video show first, and then we're going to have that one-on-one with them talking about the update, because these videos were taken last year. Now, that was when the prime of COVID made it happen, when people no matter go to school, when life may, chaotic. And so we're going to talk about that and then talk to them solo. And then after that, go into a general discussion where we talk about why it's important for young people to deal with their stresses and cope in the day-to-day lives. So our first video today is going to be from Nicanor, Requena. And here it is for you guys. Let's play it.
Having a little bit of audio difficulties.
We're having some slight audio difficulties. We're going to be dealing with that right now. So just bear with us. As you know, how technology works is our benefit to connect us to everybody in the world, but at the same time, it does have its faults that come with it when it comes to internet
smells fair.
technologies. It smells fair, right? It smells fair. So we're going to be working that kink out and getting to the bottom of that very shortly. In the meantime, I just want to ask everyone out there, well, our viewers, did we get the kinks working, guys? Are we good to run the video?
Not as yet. All right. Let's have our conversation with Nicanor first.
Okay, so what we're trying to do here when it comes to the video is basically just talk a little bit about what was happening. Nicanor, in the video, he was talking about volleyball. So I want to get an update on your life, Nicanor. What's been happening when it comes to the scene of volleyball? I know that's one of your big stress copes mechanisms. Tell us how that has fed into your life. Did you find any other, mechanism, or is it just volleyball still?
Well, at the time I was in high school and definitely leaning a lot on volleyball. I think I'm very much so more dependent on volleyball now. But also I've met new friends in college. I'm attending SJC, JC, and I think just being put in an environment where there's more people around me and just opening up to people is definitely a good coping mechanism as well. But I'm leaning more on volleyball now. I think like 3 weeks ago we came back from Honduras and we brought back a medal. So I attended a tournament for the U19 national team. And I'm leaving on Friday. Tomorrow I'm leaving to Nicaragua to play in another tournament that's going to be U21. So I'm definitely leaning a lot more on volleyball, but also juggling school and the pressures that come with it. I have found other coping mechanisms and surrounding myself with good people that can give me advice and help me definitely is a good coping mechanism.
I love it. I love it.
I believe we have that video.
I think we're having the video ready so they can be able to see firsthand, because it was a really cool time and we shot this video in PG because Nicanor is from PG. And
yeah.
What was super fun, remember we were on the whole pier and we did the jumps and all kind of stuff because we were trying to get the shots in. So we have the video ready for you guys to see. It's so totally beautiful. So we're going to be playing only a part of it, but you guys get to get a close-up into it. It's also available on YouTube. So.
And life in general can sometimes be like a crashing wave. This documentary looks at young people and their survival in this life. We're all stressed, going through our own version of hell, but we're able to connect to each other's stories, understand each other's pains, and come up with solutions in ways that we can be better. This series is We Survive. We all can get through this together. We all can be able to survive. When you hear these stories, let you understand these young people are strong, they're bold, and they're here. Connect with them, understand them, because we all will survive this together.
When I get older, I want to be a marine biologist because I feel there is a greater need to have more conservationists in Belize to protect the marine life. At the moment, I feel that many marine species are at risk of going extinct. When I speak to my friends, they tell me that they feel caged, they feel in a corner, they feel that this pandemic has pushed them to be more isolated from society, to feel awkward when they're talking to people. Doing school online has been a struggle for them. One thing that has caused me to stress has been the lack of opportunity, or more specifically, lack of scholarships to assist student athletes in pursuing higher education. When I'm stressed, I feel tense, I feel a little agitated at times. I feel like the world is just spinning a lot faster and I don't have any control. When I'm stressed, I try to focus on some of my breathing techniques I have implemented to help me relax, feel more in the moment. Something else I do is lean heavily on volleyball. It's helped me through many tough times. I love this sport. It's an environment that I feel at home.
And that is our, short part of the video. Again, you can also find this video on YouTube, available for anyone out there to see the full story of Nicanor and everything that he's doing when it comes to volleyball. It's really nice to be able to see, he had his brother in the video too as well. How are you when it comes to family and everything? Nicanor, is everybody doing good?
Yeah, everyone's doing good there. My brother's finishing up high school. He's in Fort Farm now.
Wow.
Been home in a while since I'm studying up in Belize City and the constant traveling with the national team. But definitely when I come back from Nicaragua, I'm going to go home and I'm going to spend some time with them.
Time to celebrate.
Time to celebrate, yeah. Some downtime to enjoy PG.
Sorry? We're bringing back a medal for sure. We didn't have gold.
And we're going to be having you on for that conversation, but different scene. So
yeah.
I'm going to bring in now Madeline in on this conversation. Madeline is no stranger to Sun Up on 7 either. She was the one, if you guys see, the karate chop that she did to Brando.
Belly.
And it's funny because in her video, she actually is talking about karate being one of her coping mechanisms. It was really fun. We had gone to Burn Box to be able to shoot this one. And so Madeline here, she's doing her internship. We're going to talk a little bit more about all of that too as well. But let's show her video to just get a little first-hand glance on Madeline and her story.
Something that has caused me to be stressed is definitely school. I think that's for everyone these days, especially with the online learning. But I want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon is because ever since I was little, my grandmother was in and out of the hospital on a regular basis. So I was always in the hospital with her, going to checkups and everything. So I really liked the environment, and when people actually got healed, I love seeing the smile on the family's faces. Another thing that has me really stressed is building relationships with friends. I've been told that I'm antisocial, but I've really been trying, to make new friendships, and somehow I find different personalities in different people, and I feel like sometimes trying to find a clique is really stressful. And sometimes even with your friends that you already have, they have these problems and they try to push them on you. So, and then I'm the type of person to usually carry other people's problems, so that really stresses me out too. I feel anxious when I'm stressed. I really do. I usually I break out, and then I have like a lot of jitters and everything.
So that is a portion of Madeline's video. Madeline, how are you doing? Like, what's the update in life with that surgeon journey? What's taking place there? Give me the scoop, gal.
Well, good morning, Renata. Well, I'm still on that journey. I'm a medical student at the moment, and I'm doing an internship currently at Jubilee Specialist Hospital with Dr. Gabriel. And it's been going pretty well. I love it. I know that this is my path, and yeah.
That's beautiful. And in terms of your practice with, karate and what's not, could you give us updates on that? What new have you learned?
Have you kicked anybody's butt lately?
Well, besides Brandon's from last time, no. Well, actually, I'm still practicing. I still go Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 3 times a week. And I'm, still consistent with it because it is still a big part of my life for the past 10 years now.
Wow.
And, well, I have found other coping mechanisms as well, but it's still like the majority of my coping mechanism is karate.
Could you give us another one of your coping mechanisms, just one other?
Yeah, it might sound like a little zen, but it's meditation. So.
Meditation? No,
I
cool.
do it. I do it now. So yes, that's one of my mechanisms.
Mari, I want to ask because you're talking about going to karate, you're doing this internship, you're a medical student. It's like that's a lot on your plate, especially as a young person, right? And I know majority or like I think half of your school life in high school was during COVID too as well. So getting out and being out and doing all of that. That's a lot. How have you been how do you balance all of that? Chika, what are your ways in which you balance going to karate, being overwhelmed? Because I'm sure a lot of young people, hear that and be like, I can't do that.
Yeah, well, what I think about everything is like the day has 24 hours, right? So you just have to set aside a certain time for everything.
Yep.
So that way you won't get stressed. So let's say, for example, right? I'm going to karate for 1 hour. That's just 1 hour out of your day. And you could either spend that 1 hour doing something that's productive or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather spend it doing something that is good for my mental health and for my physical being, right? And, you could spend it doing something productive, and it's just like how you spend your hours during the day. So
documenting those
I
hours.
love
You have
that.
24 hours, you're right.
That is my same mind frame. Sorry, for exercise, Brandon. What is an hour? You could pick 1 hour out of your life and just get it done.
People
and then
spend
go
more
back.
hours watching Netflix and they do all kind of other things. So might as well, when you wait for your food, all kind of different things.
Yep.
You can spend an hour doing something else. So it's really good, and I'm hoping young people hear that. There's so many hours. Let's see how we want to spend these hours throughout the day. It's really important.
Right.
I want to have one more question with you, Matt, because it showed in your video talking about friendships. I know people lost a lot of friends during COVID. It's been hard for many people. The cliques kind of dismantled some people's cliques because they weren't able to physically be there. What is it like right now, when it comes to your friend circle? How have you been maneuvering that situation in life?
actually, what I have found are more mentors. Especially right now in my internship, because a mentor is a huge part of your life, and I'm lucky enough to have found many of them, right? And a mentor is someone that allows you to see hope inside yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I like that. Young people, let's try to find a mentor and think about, a mentor doesn't have to be this person that's really, really high up there. Anybody that's on a journey too as well, that can guide you, that can support you, that can be in your corner. I think that's super important to find that inspiration in somebody that's going to tell you and give you the reality checks like, hey, this is not it. I've been there, done that, X, Y, and Z. So
This is how you work.
This is how it works. Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much, Mad, for that. We're going to be talking to Nicanor and Madeline a little bit later still, guys. We're going to get into the other interviews. We have next up Arthur Usher. And we're going to show his video first. That was shot in Dangriga. And let's see exactly what is his coping mechanism and what he's been up to lately. So let's show that video first, and then we'll go into the conversation.
When speaking to my friends, I think they're getting by like half and half, because some are sad and bored. Meanwhile, the rest are happy that they're at home and not at school. The ones who are sad because the new laws and acts that are being passed by the government to prevent the spread of COVID keeps them from going out with family and friends. When I'm stressed, I feel like the weight of my future is on my shoulder and like I can't do anything. I just feel numb. Yes, when I'm stressed, I use gardening as a coping mechanism. It helps me to calm my nerves when I'm rooting out the weeds and just playing with the soil. It helps me de-stress in the way that I can watch the same plants that I planted grow as I water and fertilize them. One thing I'd like to see addressed in mental health in young people and children is some type of support system, whether it be a support group or professional assistance in that area. It helps people to learn more about mental health and how to cope with mental health. For one, I don't even know of any type of support group or something that helps young people with that in Dangriga. I think you need to vent out because
And that was such a beautiful video. Just a snippet. Again, you can always find all these videos on YouTube. We're going to be posting the links when we post this segment here on the show on our Facebook page. But let's talk and check in with Arthur. Arthur, how are you?
Hi, morning. Everything's good this side.
Awesome. We just saw your video, and when you lit up the Christmas the snowman, it was a whole big conversation that we had, because apparently that is a whole recyclable
Cup. I see the
that
cups,
one cups that actual climate friendly snowman. Who would have thought? Do you still have the climate friendly snowman, Arthur?
Still do.
Still working good.
Nice. So Arthur, how have you been through that? Oh, since that video, what have you? How has your life advanced since that video?
Well, in that video there, that was last year. I think we shot that video. I was still in sixth form. I recently graduated in June, so I'm now working with Globex survey team.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
And what about gardening? Are you still gardening, or you get too busy with work now? Tell me about that.
No. It's hard balancing that at the moment, but I still do a lot of my gardening. I do it during the morning. I log in from 9 to 6 now. Our schedule changed, so normally I garden in the morning or early part of the morning before I log in. So I don't have as much time to do it as I used to, but I still do it.
I love that. And I know you briefly spoke about your friends, about the numbness that they feel and the boredom they felt during that COVID season. We're coming off, and of course you see a lot of events happening. Tell me a little bit, have you checked in with your friends? How are they doing now?
Actually, one flew to Barbados, and the other one is in the States. She's just, I guess, visiting family or something.
Oh, wow. So things that happen, your friends are moving on and they're doing their stuff.
Yeah, everybody moving on at this moment.
So it must be exciting to be able to see, how your life evolved from that point in time. Have you found any other healthy coping mechanism? Because I know, what people don't understand is, the older you get, the more comes on your plate. So the balancing comes into effect. Seriously, I know Nicanor was talking about, going to fly out tomorrow and doing all of these different things. I can imagine the stress of all of that piling up. Madeline, same way. How have you found another coping mechanism, or are you just sticking to one right now?
Actually, I'm just sticking to gardening because that has always been something I was interested in. So for me, it's a win-win. Yes, it's a coping mechanism for me, but it's also something that I enjoy doing. So it's a win-win.
Better you than we, Papa, because we obviously don't have the green
My
thumb.
snake plant, they live now, by the way. I want you to be proud of me, Arthur. My snake plant is living right now. It's thriving. I took it out of my room, and that's a beautiful part of
I
this.
hope you put it in the sun.
It's not in the sun. It's like, you know what? Arthur is proud of me, right? Arthur is proud of me. That's all that matters right now because he's a gardener. Thank you. I just wanted you to say that so I could feel good. And it was really fun shooting this video too as well with him. You know, just to see his passion for gardening and to see all that he does. Like there's so much work that he puts into it. And for a gentleman too as well, sometimes you think when they're younger at this age, if you're not a farmer, some people don't look at gardening for men as something as much as a go-to. So I really like his story to do that, yeah. And I know you said that, you know, even uprooting the weeds there, so that's kind of like calming for you, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, correct.
Is there any like things you want to say?
It distracts you. It distracts me personally from thinking about anything else that was going on in my life. Whether I had something, I was just like maybe in terms of school, maybe a certain assignment or teacher was, I had a hard time with them, but that helped me out.
Wow. I like that. In the form of just like, and that's the thing with coping mechanism. It takes your mind away from your stresses. So
I guess it would go to the beautifying aspect of it.
And
beautifying something.
If you decide for a garden actually get something out like a sweet pepper or whatever, that's our next perk.
Got to that. I'm a proud.
Yes, man, and we understand your one sweet pepper makes
and
you so
I chop
happy.
it up and I eat it.
I'm proud of you. You want Arthur to say proud of you too? Do you want that?
I know he's proud of me. He's good.
And so, thank you so much for that, Arthur. We're going to be talking to you a little bit later. We have one more video to show, and it's from Kristen Nicholas. This is going to be exciting too as well. We shot this one at Yogobi. And it was really cool to have this whole experience with Kristen. I had actually just recently met her too as well. She's such a dynamic and an incredible young person. So here is a video for Kristen.
My name is Kristen Nicholson and I am 18 years old. My career choice is to become a forensic pathologist or anthropologist. Either one is fine with me because they're quite similar. And I chose this profession mainly because I noticed there are few of these professions in Belize, and I believe it's quite essential for us to have more professions under this field. So I'm not only developing my country in this way, but I'm also doing what I adore. Since I am currently enrolled at school, this has become my main stressor. You know, the demanding of assessments takes up a lot of reading time, a lot of critical thinking, and time management. And this has put a lot on me and has caused me stress. Whenever I'm stressed, I'm often moody and frustrated. And I do lose control of my emotions and find it hard to relax and soothe my mind. My coping mechanisms would be practicing relaxation, meditating, praying, and also doing affirmations. I choose these specific coping mechanisms mainly because these are what I am comfortable doing and these are what make me happy. My message to children struggling with mental health.
And that was Kristen's video. I really, really appreciated her journey because she was talking about, you know, meditation and prayer and how that really, you know, calms her. And so, Kristen, how are you doing today? Are you still the meditation girl and the prayer warrior that you are?
Hi, I'm great. I'm not really the meditation girl anymore. I guess I had to choose calm coping mechanisms, and now I'm being more active. Now I'm using Nicanor's coping mechanism. I'm on a volleyball team.
Wow!
Active.
That's pretty cool, and I kind of like that too as well because it shows that you can start off with one and then change to something else because, you know, based on your scene, you could have more turned to prayer and meditation because you never come and go nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And then now you can see that you can play volleyball and you can have fun with that. Let me know about, you know, when it comes to school-wise, how's that been going with you?
Well, it's great to see how things have really changed from a year. I'm now currently on my last semester. It has been really good. I've even had more time to even become a mentor for my school. So
Wow.
it has really been great.
I love that.
Kristen, I want to ask, though, back on the whole volleyball thing, why did you choose volleyball?
So I've always been this active person from high school. Like I used to be on the track team, on the volleyball team. I used to do so much, and then I just had to move on to being calm and doing affirmations and meditating. It's still good. I still do it, but I decided to get back since we can do things face to face now, and it has been really good. It's a great coping mechanism.
All right.
So sports is definitely a highly
Just
recommended
going back
one.
home. Yeah.
It is, and you sleep good at night.
Yes.
Tired, sure?
Tired.
It's so great to see Kristen, and I love her smile. She's such a beautiful, beautiful soul, easy to work with, and I'm just like so proud of you, Kristen, for all that you're doing in your life, and you know the changes that are making. Because I know, like when you watch the videos, you're like, oh my gosh, it's been a year. I know Madeline made a
Right, I
joke
can't
wrong.
put my hair.
I remember when you were filming it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Madeline made a joke wrong at me, and she's like, I'm not that weight anymore, Renata. And I'm like, okay, Madeline, you could set up on TV if you want. Like, you know, things have changed, you know, but it's great to see all of you guys, you know, striving. Nicanor is like taking from volleyball just to be a coping mechanism to going to travel for that. I love to see authors still like sticking to gardening and making time for it. Same thing with Madeline, because your life gets so busy. And then now seeing the transformation for you, Kristen, having like saying, you know what, I'm moving into something a little bit more active for me because that works for me. I want to bring, like, it's now more of a panel discussion. It's going to be very short and brief because we're sadly running out of time for the segment. I want to ask you guys, I'm going to speak individually. I'll start with Kristen because we were still talking to you just now, Kristen. You had a very incredible message when it came to how we're supposed to be dealing with mental health. Can you touch base on that message when it comes to dealing with mental health, especially right now that we're moving off a pandemic and we're now in person and, you know, people can maybe access resources more and so forth. Like, what are your thoughts now?
My thoughts are still the same. I believe you should still trust yourself and do what you're comfortable with. And now I believe it's more easier for young people to find more coping mechanisms because there's so many stuff out there to go on, and people are more focusing on that now. I've seen so many outlets and groups, organizations focusing on mental health because the statistics shows that it has really been an issue for a while and we just overlooked it. So
I'm happy.
My message is still the same.
I like that because rightfully said, Kristen, is the fact that COVID has now been linked to mental health issues. And
spike in suicide rate.
yes, spike in anxiety, all of those things. That is something that, yes, I love the fact that we have seen that growth. We're talking about it much freely now. We're seeing more things popping up, helping other people as well. So I really do, yeah, love that.
I love it. And so, Nicanor, for you as a male specifically, I want to talk to you about the importance of men, you know, taking a lot more initiative and investment into their mental health and finding things, healthy mechanisms that work for them. Because a lot of times, sometimes we find mechanisms where not a help, we not a benefit, we turn to things that are more based on drugs and stuff that don't actually support us. What can you speak to men out there, young men out there, about, you know, why it's important for men to, and I say men a lot because I really want to stress the fact that boys, you know, even with suicide rates, that it's higher in men. So talk to us about why it's important for young men to invest in their mental health.
Right. Well, like you said, a lot of young men abuse drugs. And the main thing is that they're not active. I feel like in the community, exercising, and they're finding themselves surrounded by the wrong people. So the main thing is just surround yourself by good people, stay active, and try to help out in your community, right? But as for men, sorry, could you repeat the question again?
No worries.
It's a big question, yeah?
Yeah, it was a big question just of why it's important for men specifically, because for men to invest in their mental health.
Okay, yeah. Well, men need to focus or invest in their mental health to continue to contribute effectively to the community, because men play an integral role in the
Society as a whole.
like the helping of children in the community, and men are like the backbone in a community. Not taking nothing away from women, but men need to be focused. They cannot be delinquent, and they have to be able to stand for things in a community, right?
Definitely.
So men need to be focused, and it's very important to emphasize the need for more initiatives to target mental health with men.
And I think rightfully said, Nicanor, in the fact that men often feel like they need to portray that strong backbone that you're talking about.
Like, I don't cry.
Yes,
I'm fine.
I can't cry. I can't show emotions. That toxic masculinity that we always speak of on this show. But in the end, we are all humans, and we all have mental health that we need to take care of, as well as our physical health. And physical health actually promotes great mental health. So when you talk about those aspects of them not finding good people in their life or not being active in their life, they're just left there to stew in their masculinity. They're just left there to stay with their problems. So yes, like you said, I encourage all men out there, whether old, medium, or young, you guys need to start taking care of your mental health. Look, crying isn't like something so taboo or whatever. No, man, if you need to cry, cry. Shucks. If you need to be sensitive, be sensitive. You know what? Open up. Don't let things stew in your head. Talk to somebody, because it can just save you from your mental demise.
Yeah, definitely. That is something to look at. I want to bring Arthur in on this conversation. And I know you have very supportive parents. Can you talk a little bit about why it's so important to have support when it comes to parents in your mental health journey, in just being able to deal with stress?
So, I think that it's important to have supportive parents to deal with mental health, because if you don't have somebody that you can rely on to go and talk to topics that that are affecting you, then it's gonna be a real stressful time for you. If you have somebody that you can go and talk to, that somebody will listen to you, they will support you in whatever you choose to do, your life should run as smooth as possible.
Most definitely. I think so too as well. It's very on key point. Like, you need somebody to rely on.
Definitely.
I think that brings me to Madeline now, talking about
mentors.
The mentors, right?
Yes.
And so as we're wrapping up this segment, Mad, this is the last question that we're going to be asking you guys. I want you to talk a little bit about young people, and you've said briefly on it about the support that we need to have. And you can find that in mentorship. You can find that in friendships. You can find that in different, healthy resources, maybe counseling or so, if you have a deeper issue that you need to talk about, or if you just want to vent out. Talk to us a little bit about why is it so important for young people to find mentors and find their tribe and access resources when it comes to your mental health.
So it's important to find mentors because, well, as young people, we have a vocation, right? And if you have someone that has already been on this journey, right, you will have not someone that's only walking ahead of you, but someone that could walk alongside of you, and they can help you, with, each step of the way. And they can, they could tell you, so that you can do this at, in this certain way, right from wrong, or they could give you an opinion, but you're still open to taking their advice or not, because you can still find your own way. A mentorship is just, you could just find like an inspiration in them.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for me, it would be my mentors here at Police Specialist Hospital. They're the professionals that I aspire to be.
I love that. I love it so much. And I thank you so much, young people, for, you know, being here, being advocates, for sharing your stories. We're going to be posting the videos again for everyone to see the full video and see exactly. They were asked several questions about what they think the government should be doing, what's their mental health message, a lot of things. So thank you again for being a part of this conversation and for continuously being a part of the conversation when it comes to your peers, your mentors, and just pushing for a better life for yourself and others out there. So we truly appreciate all of you. And we're so proud of you guys for the graduations, for the new jobs, for the traveling, for the internships, for the new coping mechanisms, for just like developing yourself. It's a great strive for you guys, and congratulations, we're proud.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, guys, all the best in your future endeavors.
And we have come to the end of the show too as well, so we're going to be wrapping up the show right here and now, guys.
Right.
As you know, we're talking about the same idea of mental health. I really want to advise everyone out there to take care of yourself. Before you take care of anybody else, take care of yourself. Whatever that looks like, if that's volleyball, if that's planting, if that's doing karate, if that's reading a good book, if that's doing prayer, meditation, if that's going and taking a nice long jog with some music in your ears to get through that situation, whatever it is that you need, apply that. Find healthy coping mechanisms to go into your life with, because you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself holistically in every single way.
And just piggybacking on that, Ren, is the fact that Daryl said earlier in our Climate Change Week discussion, it begins from you.
Yes.
You know what? You cannot be a healthy person outside to others if you're not a healthy person to yourself, whether that be physically or mentally. And I guess it could go to Dr.
Dr.
Gambole.
Bongole.
Yes. His talk as well about, you know what, you are definitely what you eat. And if you take care of yourself physically, trust me, the mentals will be right. If you take care of yourself mentally, trust me, the physicals will be right. So it all starts from you before you can spread outwards to others. So, yeah. With that, I say my usual, go be great, please.
You guys take care and have an amazing day to everybody out there. Let's mentally take care of ourselves before we take care of others.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.